Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. Today we're here in Oregon, specifically the Willamette Valley, and the region that has done more than anywhere else in the New World to prove that Pinot Noir can be genuinely profound outside of Burgundy. I've been waiting to do this episode all week. The Willamette Valley runs roughly 150 miles north to south through northwestern Oregon from the Columbia River in the north down to the Eugene River in the south. It's a valley flanked by mountain ranges on both sides, the coastal range to the west and the Cascades to the east. And that positioning is critical. The coastal range keeps out the worst of the Pacific rain, and the Cascades block the hot, dry continental air from the east. What the valley gets instead is a cool, relatively mild climate with long growing seasons, significant cloud cover, and enough rainfall to keep the vines from stressing. These are near ideal conditions for Pinot Noir. The grape ripens slowly and completely, developing aromatic complexity without losing the acidity that makes great Pinot so compelling. The soils are equally important and genuinely distinctive. The dominant soil types in this northern Willamette, particularly in the famous Burgundy Hills, is a red clay called Jory soil. This is ancient marine sediment, poor in nutrients but excellent for vine stress. It forces the roots deep and concentrates the flavors in the fruit. Jory soils produce wines with a characteristic red fruit and earthy quality that's immediately identifiable to anyone who has tasted serious Oregon Pinot. Other soils types include Willamette sedimentary soils, volcanic basalt, produce different expressions across different sub-appellations. Let me walk you through the key sub-appellations because they matter. Burgundy Hills is the original heartland of Oregon Pinot, where the Erie vineyards made history in the 1970s by producing wines that beat French Burgundy in blind tastings in Paris. The Burgundy Hills Jory soil produces structured, earthy, age-worthy Pinot Noir with great depth. Producers include Erie, Domaine, Druin, Oregon, the Burgundy house that planted a flag in Oregon in the 1980s. Ophir. The Eola-Amity Hills, the sub-appellation we covered briefly during the Grand Tour episode on Zenith Crown, is arguably the most exciting zone in Oregon right now. And the reason is the Duzer Corridor, a gap in the coast range that funnels cold Pacific air directly into the hills every afternoon, dropping temperatures dramatically and extending the growing season. The result is Pinot Noir of extraordinary tension and precision, wines with higher natural acidity, more mineral character, and a kind of electric freshness that distinguishes them from the warmer Burgundy Hills style. Producers include Zenith Hill, Zenith Crown, Christom, Bethel Heights, Lingua Franca, the latter founded by the master sommelier Larry Stone and winemaker Thomas Stave with Burgundy's Maison Dominique Lafon as a partner. The Ribbon Ridge is a small, isolated knoll within the Chehalem Mountains, AVA with uniquely ancient marine sedimentary soils. The wines are distinctly aromatic, silky, and perfumed, some of the most immediately beautiful Pinot Noir in the state. Producers include Beaufrère. The producer list worth knowing across all of the Willamette: Brickhouse, certified biodynamic, producing some of the most soulful Pinot in the state. Evening Land, a collaboration with Burgundy's Dominique Lafon, remarkable precision. Ponzi, one of the founding pioneers of Oregon Pinot with decades of excellence. Ken Wright Cellars, a single vineyard specialist, one of the most instructive bottles you can buy to understand what site means in this region, and A to Z Wineworks for an approachable, widely available, honest, entry-level Oregon Pinot at $20. Practical takeaway is that Oregon Pinot Noir is one of the best values in serious red wine available today. That window is narrowing as the region earns more international recognition. A village-level quality bottle from a serious producer in the Eola-Amity Hills or Burgundy Hills typically costs $40 to $80. Something equivalent in quality from the Côte de Nuit would cost 3 to 5 times that and often more. And the best news is that Oregon producers are deeply transparent about their farming and winemaking, which makes them easier to research and trust than many other regions. Find a producer you love, get on their mailing list, and buy every vintage. Tomorrow we'll go to California, 4 very different regions, 1 very versatile grape, some genuinely surprisingly geography. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for your next Decant.